coaches and volunteers for field prep. This is going to be a quick tutorial on what you need and how to prep the fields before games. What you'll need is a paint marker machine, a rope, a can of paint or two, a rake, a template for the batter's box, the tractor, and generally a hose is on the tractor or that corner there's an additional hose. All the paint is stored in this cabinet right here. The rest you can find in the equipment room with the 3 locks. We'll take you out to the field now. All right, when you're gonna take the tractor out, give it a quick inspection. Sometimes these tires have a slow leak. We have a pump in here that's usually plugged in to the outlet right behind the rakes there. If it is showing a little bit low, or you kick the tire and you have good compression there, you're not going to be able to drive that safely. So hook this up like a normal stem valve, flip the switch, and wait. Starting the tractor, make sure the throttle is down in a low setting, the choke is in, and the key is in run. Click it to start, and then you're going to pull the choke if it starts to sputter. Now that it's going, you can put the throttle up. Bring the hose out on a tractor, I recommend it. It makes it easier for carrying the hose in and out. The hose is going to plug in right behind the mound here. Before you water the infield, you want to drag the field with the tractor. The tractor drag should not get within about 1 foot of the lip. If you get too close to the grass, what's going to happen is what's happening over here, where the dirt starts building a mound in the grass, and that makes the ground balls unpredictable and tough to play for the kids to get hit in the face and chest all over. It's no fun for anybody. So avoid that. You're going to use a rake along the lip here. If the tractor's in use on the other field, each of the field boxes has a manual drag that you can use as well, and just pull that around. I'll show you how to drag the field now. Unfurl the mat. Like I said, keep it away from the grass lip, and then mind the bases. The bases should have plugs in them, not the magnetic stands. Right now this stand is in, so just take laps around the field, equally disperse the dirt, and then we'll hit it with the rake when we're done. Done dragging the field, there will be a bunch of dirt left in the drag. What you want to do is take it into the grass along the fence line and drive the tractor into the grass a bit so that we don't get a mound of dirt over here. Just drag it into the outfield along the fence line. Don't snag the fence, it'll bend the drag. Alright, you can see that I took the drag no closer than about the foul line to give room between the grass and the rest of the dirt. So I'm gonna hand rake the rest of this. You can give it a little bit of pressure to knock down any hard points or mounds. You can see a lot of, we just got water last night, so a lot of mounds here. Just knock it down side to side. Just turn over the dirt a little bit and break up any divots in the field. Give the kids a smooth playing surface. I'm gonna push this away from the lip as well so that we don't build up a bigger lip. And at the end, take all the excess dirt and grass off the field. And you'll work your way down the line. You'll repeat this process along any grass to include the outfield grass. So don't take the tractor within about a foot of the outfield grass either. You want to hand rake that. When we're done with that, we're going to hand rake the batter's box and the mound. You can see the city just cut the grass here and they left an awesome tractor mark in the wet dirt. So you want to take that out for playability. Knock down those little mounds, make the ball predictable when it hits there. Footprints, the same thing. And we'll take the extra grass out. Now, if the mound is very dry, which it's not right now, filling in this hole will be very difficult. We have a nice wet mound right now, so what I'm gonna do is break up the dirt behind the mound a little bit. Using the other side of the rake, I'm gonna pull that dirt into the hole here. And just stamp it down. This would be a good temporary solution, but again, the dirt has to be wet in order for this to be effective. You can do the same thing with the landing zone here. A lot of times a wear path will be developed right in here. It's going to come out over the course of the game when we fix it with dirt. The real answer is clay. Now we'll do the batter's box. Same idea here. You can see that there's a lot of field conditioner right here. That's the soft, kind of gravelly stuff on top. That stuff does not fill this hole effectively. So what I would do with that is just pull it away. You can see all the field conditioner there. Just pull it back. And even it out back there so that you don't have a ton of field conditioner in here. Before a game, we're not going to be able to fix these holes. It is requiring some clay to build it up again, and then we'll take that field conditioner that we spread back there, back and top it off over here. For now, all I'm going to do is give a smooth surface for game time. Now we're ready to water and paint. Water hookup is behind the pitcher's mound under a cover. Help yourself out. If you're using the fireman's hose, rotate it counterclockwise to seal it off. There should be a gap between the nozzle and the rest of the assembly. If there's no gap and it's flush, you're going to get sprayed in the face when the water turns on. So have that locked out. You're going to take the quick connect into the receiver end here, and you're going to rotate it clockwise. And it helps to turn the entire hose around it, otherwise you're going to bunch it up. Alright, we have water pressure now. We just want to wet the field to look a darker shade of brown. We don't want standing water or puddles. So a spray like this prevents it from jetting and creating puddles on the field. In order for you to paint the lines, the field has to be wet. Out here, all we're doing is knocking down the dirt so that it doesn't get to the dust bowl during game time. turning on the jet and you start spraying, you're going to move all the dirt like you see there. It's not good for the base path. It's not good for predictability of play. So have it on a nice gentle spray like that. Just get it wet. Don't point it down at the ground because again, you're going to be moving dirt instead of just wetting it. The base path, if you have about 45 minutes before the game, if you get it wet to a tiny bit of standing water, that will help the water penetrate the lower layer of dirt and you'll get a longer lasting line. You want to do this to the entire base path and in the home plate area. Try your best to avoid getting home plate saturated. It's hard for it to dry off. It's going to get wet a little bit, but try not to soak it, the plate itself. I'll show you how to fix that here in a second. All right, the next step is we're going to paint the batter's box. You're going to take this part of the handle and you're going to line it up with the flat edge of home plate. You can tell that there's more batter's box on the back end of the plate than the front end of the plate. That is intentional. So make sure that you don't get it backwards where you have a huge amount of batter's box in front of the plate. The majority of the batter's box should be behind the plate. Once you have it aligned, two ways that you can just template the batter's box. You can simply walk on it to create an impression on the field, or you can take your finger and outline the box. You want to be careful about how much pressure you put because like we talked about earlier, if the water doesn't penetrate to the lower level of dirt, you're going to be turning over the wet dirt, exposing the dry dirt, and I'll show you what happens if you try to paint dry dirt. Quick tip here is if you look at the nozzle, you'll see that it's a rectangle essentially, a narrow side and a thick side. And so you want to make sure that you insert this into the machine correctly. If you want a thick stream versus a thin stream, you need to spray with the nozzle wide. So when we put this in, we want to make sure that the nozzle is pointing with the fat part left and right, not the fat part forward and back. All right, so we're putting it in like this. That's going to give us a nice wide spray. This dirt was dry. Let me show you how easy it is to destroy this line, and it's gone. So that's why the dirt needs to be wet. You're going to set this up on your template outline. There's a nice arrow that you use to point on the line. You follow the line with the arrow. And you get your batter's box, all right? This line will still, I mean, you step on it and it'll still go away, but it's going to adhere much better. It's not going to just get blown away. You follow the template all the way around. You can see this paint is dying on me. But you can do multiple passes. You don't have to just do one pass. And you can see I made a mistake here. I went a little bit past. Easy to fix. Take out your magic eraser, scuff it, and you're good to go. Repeat on the other side, and then we'll get set up for the baselines. To paint the foul lines, you're going to need the string and a stake. This should be all together here, all right? We're going to put the stake at the point of home plate. Just realize that the point of home plate, there's black usually that's covered up, so don't put it right at the white. If you feel resistance, you're trying to push it into the rubber. So set it back about an inch from where you think it should go. Boom. Or if you can't find a stake but you have somebody helping you, they can just hold it down there. You're gonna take the looped end of the rope, put it around the stake, and walk it out. when you get to this stage of field prep, you want to make sure that the magnetic bases are in. We didn't field prep this section of dirt, so don't criticize me. Alright, but you want to make sure that the magnetic base is in, because you want the foul line to go just on the outside edge of the base. So when I'm doing this line, I'm kind of bouncing the rope to make sure that it goes straight, and then it goes down the right edge of the base here, and that'll give you a foul line that is correct. Alright, you can also see that I strung it out into the outfield. If the outfield paint is fading like it currently is, you can look at the foul pole and draw a line in, and that's where it should mirror. But there should be some remnant paint out here, so give it just one more wiggle, make sure that we have a nice straight line. Boom. Now we're ready to paint the base path. Paint the base path, we're going to start at the corner of the batter's box. Some of the fields aren't perfectly square, so you might be hitting the front line, not the exact corner. That's fine. Just pick up the line where it meets the batter's box. And we're going to walk it out, and we're going to stay to the right of the magnetic base stand. Keep an eye on the arrow on the front of the machine. That's going to help you stay straight. And we have our nice straight base path. All right, now you got your nice first base path. We need to get over to third. What I recommend is, instead of just dragging it, you're gonna drag the rope through all of the nice paint that you just laid down. Give it some tension to lift it up so it's off of the dirt a little bit, and then we're gonna rotate. So now I lifted it up, it's holding in the stake. And we repeat the process over on third base, or the base that you haven't done yet. Okay, so we screwed up. We got home plate a little wet. Well, not really screwed up, that's expected. So obviously this is a slipping hazard for the kids as they cross home plate and forget to slide. So we want to make sure that we dry it off. Best way to do that is get your hands dirty, find some extra field conditioner in the back of the backstop, just pick it up and dump it on the plate. This will absorb the water pretty quickly, turn it into kind of a muddy mess here, and then it'll dry out as you mix it up. And then we sweep the plate, and it goes from standing water puddle to completely dry in a matter of seconds. We're done using the hose. I'll show you how to wrap it up without getting soaked. So we're going to start at the attachment end. Stand back a little bit, grab some hose because it's going to splash. So you can rotate it just standing back here. It's going to spray out as soon as it unlocks. This grass will absorb it pretty quickly. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to open this end of the hose all the way clockwise, drag it straight out. Keep it on the grass, not on the dirt. That'll absorb quicker. Now we're going to take this end of the hose, drag it out to a straight line. And if you look at that end of the hose there, you'll see all the water is coming out one end. You can do this on either side, it doesn't matter. but I just pull it across the field so it distributes the water, not all in one puddly mess. It's more likely to get absorbed into the field before game time doing it this way. Like I said, you can do this the other way with it coming out of the connection point. Once you get the majority of the water out, we're going to roll it up. So now I'm not at risk of getting soaked before game time and enjoying a game in the stands all wet. All we're going to do is double it back. As you do this, there's still water in the hose, so remain aware of the ends of the hose so that you don't get wet. So you can either double it back over and over. If you got time, you can actually roll it. That'll get all the water out. But this works pretty well in a bunch. All right, so now I'm gonna keep those ends clear of my feet because I don't want to get wet. Looks pretty dry. Throw it back on the tractor.